Hi guys, it's Promise Sebastian here again. Okay, so guys, trust you are having a great day, and if you're not, just know that the ones are in your hand and you can turn it off anytime, any moment. Okay, so we are going to be designing this flyer design. It's a tourism flyer design. Okay, in this flyer design, you will learn how to create 3D text and add a lot of shadows to it, and you know how to manipulate hues, like to use backgrounds that are not the same color, then you change them, give them a color, and they still be suitable for your design. Then you know how to use grunge effects like the ones used on the design. Then you also know how to place these elements perfectly well, and you also know how to use the eraser tool to erase some certain parts, like here, over here, and make your design pop. Okay, so guys, there are a lot to learn. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Let me start by removing this image and getting a new background. So I'll go over to my layer here, which I'll get the image here. This is my layer here, so I'll click delete this layer up here, and this I click on it. So this is the image. I'll click delete, so it's gone now. So I'll use this plus button and click it here, this one up here. So I'll from gallery here, so over here I click on it. It takes me to my gallery. Okay guys, this is the background I used for the design, so I'll click on it. That is where we are going to learn how to use hue to get a suitable background for our choice. So this the normal default background here, I can just change it to white, or probably I will leave it. Okay, but let me just leave it. So I will adjust this guy with this button over here. At the bottom of any image, there's a button here. You use it to draw, and you draw to relate it. Then you go over to this second default menu here, this one here by my right. So I can then adjust this guy to 100. Look at what it is written, 96 101. So I will adjust this arrow here to make it 100 and make this 100. So I'll click OK here on top here. I'll click OK. So I will use relative position, this two over here. I'll use it to adjust relative to the center. So I'm good now. Then I will make sure, okay, I'm clicking on it. So then now I'm gonna hue it. I'll go over to this color filter. Look at the icon here. It looks like some kind of an equalizer. You click on it, you see hue, saturation, and brightness. So you use the hue to change the color of whatever element there. You can just change the color to anything as far as you're huing it. So let's hue with the hue tool. So we are huing to something good. Look, I've gotten a green, but this green is saturated. Okay, you should know when colors are really bright and the colors are out enough, it means that it's really saturated. And most of the time, saturated colors really look the temperatures are high, so it might not look pleasant to the eye. So you reduce the saturation. So we do that over here. So I think we'll have a suitable color now. So this color is good now for us to go. So we'll click good here, up here, and we are good now. So we'll lock this guy so we don't touch it. So I'm good now. This time around, it's time to get my background. So I'll go over to this plus button here. There's a background I added here. Click the same gallery, takes me to background. Okay guys, over here is the background I used. So I'll click on it. So it brings it up. Click good here, down here. So it brings it. So I'll adjust. I'll go over to the same resize here, and then resize 100. So it's okay. I click good. Then use this relative tool here over here. So I'll click on it and make relative. This middle one is used for relative to the center horizontal, and this is relative to the center vertical. Vertical. So you click the two of them each time you want to adjust to perfectly well. Just click the two of them to adjust it for you. So this is it now. So we will blend this guy. First of all, reduce the opacity really well. So I think opacity of 10 is good now. 10 is good. But what happens? These green leaves didn't show as it was in the flyer I did. So what I will do is I will copy this background again. I'll copy it again. So I've kind of copied it. So I'll lock this one so I don't touch it with this something like look key up here. You click on it like this one, you click, is locked now. So this one is locked. So I'll then click on this one that is up, so I don't touch the second one. That is why I locked it. So it's now on the top one. So then I will increase the opacity. Look at the opacity to here, the two here. You click on it, you increase the opacity now so you can see what you are working with. So I'll use this eraser tool now to erase something. If you want to use the eraser tool, these buttons are used for adjustment. You use this one to increase the size of the eraser, this one to increase the blurriness so it's not sharp. You see what is happening to this guy now. So it's not sharp. So then I will start erasing. This one is used to draw the handle. Look at what is happening to it. So I will start erasing now. So I will erase. Okay, adjust the handle so I will use it perfectly well here. So I will erase. So I'm gonna fast forward to save time. Okay, I'm actually done with what I wanted to do. So now I click this good here, and then we are done now. So this guy is now here now. So what we'll do is probably we'll reduce the opacity of this one also to the same 10. So the same 10 opacity. We'll have the same 10 opacity. You see, it's now looking more visible. So I will click OK, and probably you can erase the white background and save, or you can still leave it that way. So we are good. Now let's erase the opacity again, probably 8, even 5. Okay, 5. We are good now. So it's locked now. I've locked it already. Click on the key icon on the layer there, it locks it. So I've locked it now. So let me get my test. I'll get my test here and adjust. The test was written a trip to Marituis. So I'll double click to bring up the test menu here. So I will type my a trip to Marituis. Okay, trip to Marituis. Okay, so this was the test there. I'll resize now, and then sorry about this. Then I'll go over to font menu. This is the font, the one that is written here at the bottom is for font. You click on it, it brings every function for font. So I have here now the font too. I'll click on it now. So you'll see your font library here, this font, and this is my font. So then I will look for the font I used. I think the font was in recent here. So look at the font, Belgate. So I'll click on it, brings up the font for me. So look at that. It's something I do on fly on my text. You know, this text now, the gap they give to this text is really much. So what you do is once you have something like this, two texts, you go over. Let me just cancel this. I double tapped it. Once you have something like this, you go over to this resize, to this spacing here. Okay, this vertical spacing, let's resize. You go over to this spacing, this other spacing, line spacing here. You see it here, look at it. You click on it, then you reduce the spacing. You see what I'm doing? You reduce the spacing to probably 40, 41, depending on the size that is good to the text you are using. Okay, all texts don't have the same spacing, so you know how to adjust to fit in. This one is okay for this guy now. So I'll go over to 3D. I'll first of all on the 3D. Note something, whenever you on the 3D, probably this one is not cracking because maybe my phone is at its processing speed. So if it was on your own, it might not crack, but it's always cracks. So you have a cracked text now once you turn on the 3D. But look at the remedy. Once you turn it on, you just go scroll down to here, to this simulate lightning up here. Look at it, simulate lightning. You see it's enabled now. You off it. So once it's off, it means that there won't be any lightning. It won't be cracked no matter what font you use. So just off it so you don't get anything cracked. So then you go over to your gradient and use your gradient for the simulate lightning, your own preferred lightning. Okay, if you use a normal color, it will look like, it won't look mature. It won't look as if there was won't look real 3D. It will look at some kind of a child's play. So use a gradient to still effect some color changes on it. So this is a silver gradient I created. If you don't know how to create this silver gradient, probably I have a video on how to create gradient, so you learn how to create gradient. So this is a silver gradient I created. So this is it. You click on it, it gives you the silver gradient here. So probably let me just click this thing and show you guys. Gradients have color menus, like up to 4 color menus. You have first, second, third, and fourth. So you arrange them like this in your. You use this. Once you click on this guy now, if you click this plus button up here, look right, yeah, up here now, if you click on it, it adds another color menu which you can adjust to put anywhere. So let me remove it with this minus. So once you open this color menu, what you have is only one or two, but if it's a color, you have one button. If you are in gradient, you have two buttons. So you use these buttons to adjust properly. So if you click on any one, you click add, it brings up. So you reduce the color. This one is gray, this one is white, this one is white, this one is gray. So you align it like this, position it like this, so you get the gradient. You click OK. So this is how we got our gradient now. So then we'll go over to the depth here. The depth here is 12, but we won't use this 12, so we'll reduce the depth to probably 3. Don't worry, it's not much though, but we'll still get there. So then another thing is, you see it's in perspective. Okay, so don't use perspective if you want to get real 3D look. So use oblique. So with this oblique, you get real 3D look. Let me increase the depth to see what it looks like. So you see. So let's keep it back to 3. Then we'll go over to this. You use this thing to adjust the angle. Let me increase the depth so you see how it works. So the depth is increased now. So let's go over to this angle, oblique angle here. You see it is labeled oblique angle. Use it to adjust. You see, use it to adjust your angles. So probably let me keep my angle here so it looks as if it's tilted up. So 266 is the angle, so you can keep your own the same way. So then let's reduce the depth to 3. 3 is good now. So 3 is good now. We'll click OK. Then we'll go over to add shadow to it. So to make it 3D text without shadow is not 3D. Okay, it has to have shadow because it's a 3D. It's more like a real text that you place on something. So there should be shadows to make it look realistic. Okay, so this is it now. You see, it's now looking good. Then we'll go over to manipulate our shadows. You don't use hard shadows, you use soft shadows. What I mean is shadows, you reduce the opacity of the color of the shadow. Instead of pure black like this guy now, instead of using pure black, you reduce the opacity in this third one, sorry, this first, second, third. So I think I did something I'm not supposed to do. Okay, so it's back. So you reduce the opacity in this third one now. You see what I'm doing? I'm just drawing from here to here. So the opacity is reduced now. So I'll click good. The opacity, I need to increase it a little bit. Okay, so I think I'm good now. So then I'll change the color of this text. It wasn't white we used on that one. I think we used green, dark green. So this is good. Then we'll add stroke to it now. Okay, sorry, I went on shadow. So this is the stroke too. You see it? It's more like a line, an open circle, an outline circle. Sorry. So change the stroke color to white. You add stroke, then you see something like this when you on stroke. You on the color, not the gradient, not the second one, this first one. You change the color to white. Then you increase the stroke to 10, not 13. To 10. Okay, 10 is good now. Then you go over to this 3D and reduce the darken. It's really darken. You see darken. You scroll down, you see darken here. You see 30%. So we reduce to maybe probably 20. Okay, we are good now. So I will increase this shadow a little more. Make it pop out. Okay, we are good. You can still manipulate and do some other things. So I will resize now and put in place. So now I will bring in my those stuff I added. Don't worry about all these elements I used here. I'm gonna drop them on the link on the description button, so you use it to get whatever file that was used on the design. Okay guys, here is the splatters that I use. So I'll click on it here. It's kind of red, but we'll still change color to white. So I'll resize and place it somewhere here. Then go over to change the color. I'll change the color now to white. Change the color to white. Then I'll duplicate it, copy again, place it somewhere here. Maybe resize this one again. Then I'll go over to erase some other places. Use this eraser tool. So I just taught you guys how to use this eraser now. I'll erase some parts here, the big guys. I'll erase, and I'm good now. So I adjust and rotate, place in text. And another thing, you should note another thing. There is a way you can also not have to place this guy these guys on this text. Okay, another way you can also copy the text like this. Copy the text. Once you copy the text, you remove every effect that was on the text. So I think we'll have 3D shadow and all those things. So we'll go over to shadow, remove the shadow, remove the stroke, and I think that was all. The 3D is off. Okay, I off it now. So the 3D is off now. So what we'll do, we'll go over to texture. Go over to texture and we'll go over to gallery. Okay, then we'll go over to that red texture. So this is the red texture here. We'll click OK now. So you see what I have now is now texture. So I'll reduce the size of the texture so that it will come out really well. So I now have what I have is now red texture. So look at what I will do now. I will now get a shape, then resize the shape and click OK. Then make the shape invisible, then merge it with this text. So once I merge it, I can now change the color to white in the color menu. Do you understand what I did? After the text, then I created a shape, merged it with the text with this merge. With this merge, guys, you get. Let me remove it and do it again so that someone won't get confused. Let me delete this guy. So you copy this other Marituis. Copy. Then you remove every effect. That means 3D, you remove off it. You off the 3D effect. So I off it now. Go over to stroke. I off stroke. Shadow, I off shadow. So everything is off now. So you go over to texture. Look at the texture tool here, this tool here. You click on it. You click this gallery here because it will take you to the gallery for you to bring up what you want to use for the texture. So I'll scroll and scroll. Okay, so this is the texture I used. I'll click OK. So you see it, I brought the texture. You click this good at the bottom here. You see, this text now is now turned into a texture. So, but I cannot change the color. See, if I try to add color to this text now, probably white color, you see, it won't work. It won't affect on it. So, because this is still in text format, but for me to change it to a shape format, I will need to get the shape here, resize the shape, and click good. This is kind of a menu where you used to work on shape. You can change whatever shape you want to use. You can even use circle too. It must not be rectangle. So I resize it. You click this good here, then you make the shape invisible with this eye button here in this layer. Click on it so the shape becomes invisible. Then you see this button below here. You click on it now. It brings up something like a button which you can click. You click on this first shape, click on the second text, which is this text now I want to merge. Then you see this third button here is used for merging. You click on it. It's gonna merge the two of them. See, this now becomes a shape. I can now, you see, it's no longer, there is no menu here because it's no longer a text. I can now change the color to whatever color I want. So this is now white. So you see, I can now change it to white. So with this now, I can now place it perfectly well. You get, okay, so then I will delete all these other ones so it doesn't look doesn't look tattered. So you see, then I will copy this guy again, copy him again, this somewhere here, copy this guy again. So once you are doing it, make sure you reduce the size of the texture so that the dots will be much. Reduce the size of the texture, copy again, somewhere here. So then I will go over to use this eraser to erase this guy here. Without this eraser, without doing it like this, you will erase a lot for it to fit in. I think like this now is fitting in. So this guy, erase a little. So this guy. Okay, we are good for this now. at the bottom also we need to erase some other guy. This guy here, we need to erase him. Over to this one too. Use this eraser button here. We increase the size, erase. Then over to the last one, eraser. Use the size, erase. Okay, we are good now. So just remember, whenever you are doing it, once you bring up, you go to the texture, you reduce the size of the texture, you draw it down so that you have enough dot. Then you duplicate again, so you can do this thing again. You can duplicate and bring up another and do the same pattern and get different arrangement you want. Okay, so that is it. Then what is remaining is adding the car and the images. Okay, you guys know how to bring in image and add stroke to it. Okay, so I will do the image, then the car type, and bring in the car, then the whole text. I'm gonna fast forward it. So let's bring up the image now from the gallery. Okay guys, this is the first image used, so I'll click on it. Brings it for me, so I'll click this code here. So the image, we are all in square form, so I think we'll crop them with automatic cropping, which is default cropping. Click on it, it crops it in square form. We keep this guy here. You go over again with plus and gallery. Okay guys, this is the second image, so we'll click on it. So then we use automatic default. Look at it up here, crops it in square form. So we'll arrange to get something, then resize and keep again. We use plus again, gallery. Okay, this is the third image, so I'll click on it and use the square again, put in square form. Okay, then we'll resize. Okay, so we'll have all the home image now. Then we'll add stroke to it, add stroke to them. Stroke of 10 to probably 8. So I think we are good with 8 now. So we'll add this one again, stroke of 8. Look at the stroke to this one that looks like more like an outline circle. 8, and this also is 8. So this is 8 now. So then the stuffs that came out where I wrote the name, we'll get a shape for that. So you use this plus button, you see shapes here. Let me cancel and go again. Use plus button, look at this one here. This fourth one is arc shape. So we'll resize this guy and make sure it fits into this guy. All these buttons around all this shape are used in resizing them. These black buttons, black dots, once you touch on them, you can use it to resize them. So we are good now. We'll click OK. I copy this guy and keep him here also. Then I will move this one a little. Probably I'll use these buttons here so I can adjust in my notes. So I'll click it again and adjust. Click again. Adjust. Okay, so I'll click again and adjust. So we'll use buttons to move up and fit in. Use button over here to move and fit in again. Okay. Okay, this one looks as if it's not perfect. So off this guy. Once you off this guy, you can adjust them. You can adjust only width. You can adjust only height instead of adjusting them relatively. Or off it, let's adjust only the width. You see, only the width was adjusted now. So I'll move a little. I'm good now. So just do it until you get something good. Okay. So I might not be that bothered about getting it, all of them. So we'll measure these guys so we don't get complicated. So you touch first. You see, this one is for this one, so you mark it and mark this one, which is this one. Then use this merge, this third button, and merge. it's merged now. So you touch this one again, you see it's for this one, so you click it and click this one and merge it. So we'll touch this one, which is the last one, and click on it, okay, and this image again, and use this plus button and click merge image. Okay, so then we'll rotate and keep here, we'll rotate, keep, then we'll rotate, keep. Okay guys, I'm gonna fast forward it from here on because there is no other works to do. It's just bringing in the car and okay, so let's bring in the car. Probably it's just bringing in the car and only the text. Okay, so guys, okay guys, for those that don't know how this was tilted, you use the rotate tool to rotate. So you use it, you rotate to it, it's in the same rotation format. Once you know that this line and the line in the same shape are tilted the same way, you know that you've gotten it. So you click good, that is it. So you use the position buttons, this one, to position. Which you reduce the size, get the triangle shape, which you reduce the size, and then you move it over to the bottom of this one, then use the position tool to position it perfectly well. So that is it. Okay, so thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos like this. Okay, so you learn more and more design tactics on your smartphone. Okay, so thanks for watching, and make sure you click the bell button and the subscription button if you've not, and do share the video, and have a great day.